Good evening, good folks of Lake Orion. How the heck are you? We're good here. We're good here. My name's Ian Witherspoon, and I am between Taorminas. Well, folks, hope your life is great. We're doing well here. We're having a good time. Sun is coming out a little bit.
Hoping.
Kind of.
It was storming.
It's been a weird year for weather. It was a nice day before that, though.
Hot.
Hot.
Humid.
It was nice, wasn't it? Nice.
Too humid.
Too humid? Didn't it remind you of swimming, getting a tan?
Just wait till the beach.
I'm trying.
Oh wait, we got a summer home, so don't worry about that.
Okay. Okay. Well, guys, there's a lot to get to today. A lot happened in the past week of sports, which is interesting. Some interesting things, some interesting nuggets we'll get to. But there's one overriding issue. The Detroit Lions held a draft. I want you to just start saying words of what you felt the draft was like, the Lions edition, okay? 3, 2, 1.
Bad,
Awful,
terrible,
terrible,
horrible,
disgusting.
Someone needs to be fired over there.
Awful. What were they thinking?
I know.
Who are they?
Who are they?
Who are they?
Who's Mars made you? What is he doing? What in the world do you don't need to draft a tight end in the first with their 10th round pick? Where's Darquez Denard here?
Cincinnati.
That's a terrible thing here. The Lions just wasted this draft. They wasted it with a strong cornerback draft. They should have took Denard, and
They didn't.
they did not. I was talking to Coach, one of my assistant coaches, his name's Chris Mockney,
Oh.
2006 grad.
Sure.
Oh,
And
yeah.
here's what he said about it. He wanted the Lions to take Justin Gilbert in the first round, which I understand, but I thought Darquez Denard would have been a better fit. But he went to Cleveland, and Denard was right there for the taking, and the Lions take a tight end in the first round. That's terrible.
He went to Cincinnati.
Yeah, I know. Denard went to Cincinnati. Cincinnati got a steal in Denard.
Well, my point is Ebron. Excuse me. I had a strange analysis from Mrs. McSweeney. Lake Orion high schoolers know who she is. Great science teacher. Obviously, who guards a tight end typically?
Linebacker.
What about corner?
Not often.
Not often.
I would say they could try to transform him into a versatile
If they
corner.
Like
If you
Jimmy
split 'em out
Graham?
wide,
No.
If you split them out wide, here's the deal, guys.
You got Brandon Pettigrew.
You just re-signed him.
You just resigned him.
You found Joseph Fourier.
Yeah.
You had another guy on the roster who broke his hand, had surgery, didn't play at all last year, named Mike Wallace from Alabama. Good blocking tight end. Listen, here's the deal, guys, though. I think Ebron's going to be good. He's going to be good. There's no doubt about it. He's going to be good. But why? Why do you take him?
Why?
And why did you take him at number 10?
Why did you take him?
Did you notice that right when the Lions were on the clock, the pick was in? They didn't waste any time.
No.
Hey, here we go. Pick's in. Why didn't they try
Why didn't
trading
they go
back?
for a
Why did they
corner?
go for a corner?
Why did they go for a corner?
Why didn't they trade back up into like the 20th region and still take a corner? I don't understand that.
And then, of course, you look at it here in the fourth round. In the fourth round, there was a corner by the name of Dazier.
I don't know.
Dazier, like from a from a school I haven't heard of. And then they end up taking. Why would you take a D tackle? Why would you take one? And why would you waste? And then your 7th round pick, you waste your pick on a punter. That's terrible. On a kicker. That's terrible. You should have went for a corner, Lions. That is.
They did
They didn't get a corner.
Guess how tall he is?
He's not that tall.
He's 5'9".
That's terrible.
He's 5'9".
He's 5'9". People are going to just jump and leap over him
From
for
Utah
touchdown.
State.
Good.
Apparently he's got a lot of issues with pass interference penalties,
Yeah.
which is very Lions-esque, isn't it?
Yeah.
Welcome to the scrap heap. Throw him right on top. Bill Bentley,
Bill
Chris
Bentley,
Greenwood,
Chris
Jonte Green. I don't know who else.
Chris Houston
and his broken toe.
Isn't that Kyle Wood's
sewed
favorite
it
player?
back to his foot.
Chris Houston is still terrible. But if you look at that whole Lions secondary is god awful.
Well,
They don't have any athleticism.
Glover Quinn is not bad. Hopefully this Ahead-a-Bow guy or whatever will be decent.
Oh, my God, no.
But they don't have any depth. No depth at safety.
None. You just lost Louis Delmas.
You lost Louis D. He's gone. You know, there's a lot of projects with this Lions draft. There's no heavy hitters. You know, this
Do you think the
Van
Lions
Noy
are going
guy-
to go after this in free agency?
Free agency's over.
She's over.
They already had their free
They already
agency.
have their team.
They got Golden Tate.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
They're done. Their defense is going to give up at least 300 yards a game.
That's just to the one tailback.
That's just, and then they're going to give up 300 yards, 5 touchdowns a game.
Well, there will be 2 D tackles in the middle that are playing for contracts, so that's good news. We got Ziggy Ants on one side. Who's the other guy? James Jones. Okay, sure. Linebackers. Tulloch. You know, what's his name? From Wisconsin. We've had a few years.
Yeah.
Levy. And then who's the other guy they just drafted?
They just drafted him.
Van Noy from BYU. And you go into the
I thought
secondary.
He was the best one of that draft.
Tell me who the two starting corners are.
Chris Houston and good.
Is he? He just had surgery.
I know he just had surgery, but he's a starter.
Who's the other one?
I don't know. Probably Bill Bentley. I don't know.
Do you want to see a grown man cry?
Yeah.
You want to see it?
Why?
Why can't we have a normal functioning football team in this town?
I know. Why can't the Forge just sell it to the Illiges? Illiges would have been better owners.
You know what? You know what's good about the Illiges is they get the best guy to run the thing, and they step out of the way. Okay? This Lions team, Martin Mayhew is Matt Millen 2.0.
She is.
We were
trained him?
talking about praising the Lions a few weeks ago. Now they do this. Oh my goodness gracious!
You know, of late, the past few years, football's at least been interesting, kind of. You know, they've had big stars, but they haven't found people to produce and come in and play solid football. They've had like 3 guys that are somewhat productive. Stafford is arguably not very productive the past few years, and he's the centerpiece. You know, can we call that a hit or a miss? I don't know.
If he struggles this year, the Lions draft the quarterback next year.
If he struggles this year, I'm jumping off a bridge because they have Calvin Johnson, they have Golden Tate, they have this tight end cat, Ebron. Pettigrew, whatever. You know, this safety valve. They have Reggie Bush. These are all first-round draft picks.
Quality
I'm not
athletes.
sure when Golden Tate was drafted. He might have been a first-round pick.
Quality athletes.
A solid offensive line. That's another one. The 3rd-round pick. Why
would you take a center?
And he's not going to start. I'm just very confused with this draft. So underwhelming.
Terrible.
It's like they didn't even add anything.
No, they did not.
You
That's
know,
a shame.
you get a guy from Princeton.
Princeton.
It's like playing high school football in the Ivy League.
Yeah.
It's just scary. It's sad.
I know.
It's depressing. It's the same old, same old. There's a song by Aerosmith called Same Old Song and Dance. Yeah. That should be the Lions theme song. Yeah. There's not many words. It's just You know, I think Ebron will be good though. You know, this offense should be good. Okay. But that's not the need of this team, you know?
No, it was corner.
It was secondary help. You know, you could have argued, you know, I wanted to see him trade back. Get more picks.
Yeah.
You know who does it right? San Francisco does it right. They had 1 million picks.
Seattle and San Francisco.
They filled needs.
Yeah, they did.
You know who else had a good draft? The Rams had a good draft. The Raiders had a good draft. The Lions, not so much. We wanted to talk about a St. Louis draft pick.
Michael Sam, the first openly
we have time.
Yeah, we got a few minutes. Okay.
Homosexual player / gay. People regarded as a gay player to play in the NFL.
Sure.
He was the SEC Defensive Player of the Year.
Yeah, I think that was a good pick for the Rams.
I think the story about him being Oh, yeah, it's a good story that he openly admitted that he was gay and homosexual. Excuse me. Forgive me if I.
That's not offensive.
Very, very, obviously, it's a very, very tough topic to talk about because obviously it goes into your personal beliefs. I believe that a man and a woman should be together, but that's just me.
Sure.
You know, good for him, but I think he should just address it one time and then get it over with. I mean, the question is, did they pick him for being the football player, or did they pick him because of the story that he has? That's the question I ask.
Well, I think it's hard because the NFL is the most popular league in the country, and this country is not accepting homosexual lifestyles. So it's like these two mammoth titans are colliding. You got the NFL and its billion-dollar industry with this hot button issue that is hitting states all across the country,
including Michigan.
So the two are going to collide. It's inevitable. You know, he's not the only gay NFL player.
Right.
He's the only openly gay NFL player in the media. There are other gay athletes.
He's just got to talk about it one time in the media and just shut up. It's like Manti Te'o.
Well,
you know what I mean, when they talked about that allegation.
For him, it's just a matter of taking care of his business and focusing on football, because that's what people are going to watch him. They're not going to watch him talk about his beliefs or who he goes home to at night.
It's football stance.
So that being said, I think if you can add the SEC Defensive Player of the Year in the 7th round with a huge chip on his shoulder and a lot to prove, I think the Rams got a value. We'll see though. You know, a lot of 7th rounders don't even make a team, so we'll see what happens.
A lot of kids who don't go undrafted make teams. Look at Jeff East out Douglas.
You never know. Look at Joseph Fourier. We talked about him. He had a great year for us. Was undrafted.
This is the Lions.
This is the Lions.
Bad.
This is the Lions. Now we all understand why I like to root for the
Let's
Saints.
just talk about happy topics, okay?
Happy topics?
Yes. When we return to Between Taorminas, we'll talk about something happy. All right, bye.
Welcome back to Between Taorminas here on ONTV. Guys, the Pistons are making news again. Today it comes out that Stan Van Gundy has been offered a couple positions with the Detroit Pistons. Coach and head of basketball operations. I don't know if it's GM or if it's president.
It's both GM and president.
It's basically the big man.
The big man, yep.
Okay, so taking over for Joe Dumars completely and for John Lawyer.
John Lawyer.
And whatever the heck, Mo Cheese.
And Rasheed Wallace.
Well, he's an assistant coach.
Right.
Which I wouldn't mind seeing him stick around. Do we think this is a good move by the Pistons offering Stan Van Gundy?
It's an interesting move with Stan Van Gundy because look what he's done. He's coached Miami Heat. He's done well with them. I'm very curious to see how he does as general manager. He's had very good stints at Miami and Orlando. I mean, he's had to deal with superstar egos like Dwight Howard, who's probably the biggest ego of them all.
Shaquille O'Neal,
Dwayne Wade. You know, he's won an NBA
Gary
title.
Payton.
He's won an NBA title
in Miami.
06. I think this will be a very interesting move. But him as a GM and executive, give him all that power, something you got to look at. And I think that this will help this team out. I think in the long haul because Stan Van Gundy is an NBA guy. He knows what he's doing. I think that
you're saying Joe Dumars didn't.
Joe Dumars knew what he was doing. I think he was just way too loyal, way too
right. But I think that Stan Van Gundy is going. I think if he does take this job, he's going to be just fine. I think for this team,
the culture will be changed.
It'll be
completely
changed.
Which is what kind of needs to happen. Because having worked at the Palace, worked with and for the Pistons, I know that on the business side and on the promotions and whatnot, that side of the Palace and the Pistons is it's been changed over since the new owner. Dennis Mannion came in, took control of all that. So now it's the basketball side. Joe Dumars was left over for a long time. Kind of got stale. Players, they brought in some Brandon Jennings and Josh Smith. Those guys, I don't know how they fit in any team, let alone together.
Unless you got to trade. Well, unless you got to. I thought Dumars has made some really bad draft decisions.
He's made some bad draft decisions.
Look at last year. Look at last year. He took He took Kendall Davis-Pope over Trey Burke.
Kentavious
Davis-Pope.
Caldwell
Pope over Trey Burke. That was terrible.
Yeah.
That was completely terrible. Yeah. When you look at this team here, they need a culture change. I think Stan Van Gundy gives them that type of change.
I look at him and I see a guy that really doesn't put up with a lot of crap. Doesn't let things fly. You look at Greg Popovich is in charge of the Spurs and he's the coach. That's worked out pretty well for them.
Oh, yeah.
What's the other guy? Doc Rivers is in charge of the Clippers and he is the coach. That's kind of working out pretty well for the Clippers.
Besides the owner situation?
Besides that, which we can address in a second, but I don't know who else they'd get, that would be better than Stan Van Gundy.
I think he would
I can't think of anybody.
I think he
How about Jeff Van Gundy?
No. One Van Gundy is too much.
One Van Gundy, yeah.
But anyways.
Oh, are we done here?
Yeah, we're done.
With the Pistons, we wanted to address.
Yeah, I'll address the
You're the hot button guy.
Sterling. Yes.
Anthony Hot Button Taormina, go
Because
ahead.
I actually posted something on Facebook addressing the Donald Sterling situation. He recently insulted Magic Johnson
Again,
saying that he
doesn't do anything.
that he should that he was doing what he's doing because of the HIV stuff, and it was just a mess.
He kind of rambled, and he seems like a bit of a senile old man.
He has a grudge against Magic Johnson.
He has a grudge against Magic Johnson, and it's kind of sickening. But what's good is he'll be out of here in a while.
Magic Johnson, of course, Magic Johnson's done so much for the NBA, not only for the NBA community, but also at Michigan State.
Right.
You know what I mean? He's been to their games. He's supported the Spartans program and athletics program. You know what I mean? Also, I think it's wrong to criticize Magic Johnson for who he is. Yeah, he had HIV and AIDS. You know what I mean? He admitted it, but
it depends.
He's done so much charity work. He's even bought the Dodgers. A share of the Dodgers. I mean, heck, even he's even been to Michigan State football and basketball games, for crying out loud. This guy has done a very good job in his life right now, and it's a shame that an owner like Donald Sterling could criticize Magic Johnson for who he is.
First things first, Donald Sterling is a racist. He has zero credibility after what he has said. Magic Johnson, though, he is seen as a role model. You got to wonder what his business, how he handles business and everything like that. Now, I don't think Magic Johnson's a bad guy. Not at all. I've never met Magic Johnson. He's probably one of the greatest people to know. I haven't met Magic Johnson, but I've heard a lot of good things about him. He does do a lot of good things for the community. He is very, very open, very honest, very, if he wants to come on our show, he's more than welcome to.
Magic, come on anytime.
He's also, he's if you look at his story, it's been inspiring, it's been inspirational, and he does encourage young men and women, especially young men more so, to succeed, not just in basketball but in life. And I think just Donald Sterling holds a grudge against Magic Johnson, and also he's a racist. So, and referring to Donald Sterling. So,
yeah.
He has zero credibility, as I said.
And Jeff's got a lot of credibility. You know what I mean? He
very well respected in the NBA community.
But also he's very well respected in the college game. You know what I mean? Especially at Michigan State. You know what I mean? He played there, won an NCAA title there. He's helped out with the program there. He went to their into the Rose Bowl with Michigan State was there when they played him.
He's a loyal Michigan State nationalist. That's what he is. Alumni nationalist.
Like you.
Oh yeah, I consider myself an alumni nationalist. Lake
State.
Orion, and also Oakland.
Yes, of course. So let's just hope. Let's just keep our fingers crossed that one day this Donald Sterling thing will go away.
It will sooner than later.
And, whatever.
Clippers need to change their logo and change everything.
We'll see.
And start over.
We'll see what happens.
Maybe go Seattle.
I'd say we are lucky in one sense that the Fords are not good owners.
They're terrible
But
owners.
they're not as bad as Donald Sterling.
Yeah.
So there's that. We got that.
We got that. At the start.
Okay. That'll be that for the NBA talk for the week. Maybe we'll have some news, some reaction next week. We'll see.
We'll be right back with Between Taorminas here on
Hi, this is Sean Belligian from Fox 2 and State Champs. And when I am in Lake Orion, I do not miss Between Taorminas. You want to know what's going on locally? How about that Lake Orion hockey team? They've got quite the program going. Go check out Between Taorminas.
Hey, Sammy, Anthony, and Ian, this is Dan Miller from Fox 2 News and the voice of the Detroit Lions. Congratulations on 2 years. A lot of shows don't make it that long, but you guys are obviously doing the right thing, so way to go. Keep it going. Keep doing what you do, and we look forward to talking to you again next year when you hit another anniversary. Until then, we'll talk to you soon.
Welcome back to Between Taorminas, ladies.
I thought he was going to steal my line again. I was waiting for it.
Too bad for you.
Yeah, all right, too bad for you.
All right, let's talk about your favorite Motor City kid.
Let's talk about them. They lost 2-3 to the Twins. That's okay. Their outfield has been a little bad.
Hey, Raji Davis did a really good thing.
Shut up.
Hey,
Their outfield defense has been kind of bad. And I'm just wondering why Torrey Hunter doesn't look that good.
Hey, they beat the Orioles last night.
They did, but are we concerned with Torrey Hunter's defense? He's missed some pop-ups. He's airmailing cutoff guys all the time. Anybody
I would
notice
be
this?
concerned about Raji Davis more than Torrey Hunter.
I'm not concerned about that.
You know?
He never was very good defensively.
Hey, Raji
Torrey
Davis.
Hunter has like 7 gold gloves.
Yeah, but Torrey Hunter is trying to adapt to playing a new position.
Yeah.
Right field.
No, he's been playing that for a few years now.
For a few years now. I wouldn't be concerned about Torrey Hunter.
Okay.
You think he's going through a facade?
I think he's going through a slump.
Outfield? In the outfield?
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
And also, Camden Yards is a very small yard.
Yeah. We're not talking about his play there. He hasn't shown me anything bad yet. Look,
he's still hitting.
he's still hitting.
He's still
He's still
producing.
doing his job.
You
At the
can't
plate.
you can't do 2 DH. You can't put 2 DHers
No, I know.
in.
I know.
3 if you count. You should put Victor Martinez in the outfield.
No. He's not a bad first baseman, though, this year. He's
No.
been all right.
No.
Victor, my man, I hope gets re-signed soon because he is one heck of a team leader, and that man is focused like I've never seen.
Well, I think Victor's benefiting from Prince Fielder leaving. I think that because Victor knows that he's got a lot to prove, especially ever since the Tigers, when they had Prince Fielder. I think that a lot of people thought Victor would be overlooked. But now that Prince is out, he's got a lot to prove, and I think he's been doing a pretty good job so far.
You know, they lost Prince, they lost Peralta, they lost Infante. I don't know who else they lost offensively.
They lost your boy Valverde.
Well, no, I'm not. I'm just talking offensively.
Oh, yeah.
But they lost 3 guys that people were pretty concerned about leaving. Who's got the best average in the AL? What team? Team average?
Tigers.
It's the Tigers. It's the
Because
Tigers.
of Ian Kinsler coming over here.
Kinsler's been a great addition for the Tigers.
Kinsler, Davis is towards the top with his average. You know,
Austin
Miguel is
Jackson
heating
doing
up.
good in his role.
Jackson, Victor. Guys, the pitching's been great. There's just not really a lot to complain about. you
Well,
know?
I mean, you look at how the
Unless you're in the bullpen.
Well, that's a different issue.
Yeah, the bullpen's a whole different issue.
They held
but
it down last
the
night,
Tigers
though.
have been hit. The Tigers have hit pretty, been hitting pretty well. There was a commercial that came out recently about Miguel Cabrera. He had all the Tigers. Remember, this is a commercial we watched.
It was on the MLB. It was on MLB live cam of him and his teammates doing. They had that lucha night.
Huh?
They had a,
They had like a
lucha
little.
night.
They had a little thing. You know what I mean? And then they had like all the players wearing like God hideous pants.
Zuba pants,
Yeah,
whatever.
Zuba pants. Yeah.
I didn't see the commercial.
God, it was hideous.
I should show it to
It was
you.
unintentional talk.
Oh, I saw
it was-
his interview.
Yeah, I was on the interview. He was wearing sunglasses.
Yeah.
That was just, and then of course in Annabelle Sanchez, that was just hideous.
Shirt
And then he
pulled
had
up.
Joe Nathan. He looked like a schoolgirl. Then you had Joe Nathan in there. You had Omar and Vizquel in there. You had Jabba, who
Yeah.
actually
He bought the
the pants and stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, like Rick Porcello in there. God, that was funny.
They're having fun.
That's
It's
the
good to
most
see.
important thing. That's very good to see that they're having fun and that I think they're trusting Brad Ausmus as a manager. I think that was one of the most important things that the Tigers had to address was can they trust their young general manager?
They're a young manager, not general manager.
Well,
Jay
young
Dabrowski's a GM.
Yeah.
But I mean, the young skipper. But I mean, it's a confidence thing, and I think that it's benefiting the Tigers right now. And I think being up as many games on the Central as they are is helping out as well.
You know what I really liked is I don't know if you guys saw Osmus's post-game interview with FSD last night, but you know, Torrey got drilled. It was after a home run. Kinsler hot dogged it a bit. Your reaction to that? What do you guys think? What was that all about?
Well, you shouldn't hit a person on the.
But was it intentional?
I think it was.
I think it was intentional.
Because but Torrey Hunter, here's a guy that he gets hit a lot. You know what I mean? But that was just what he did. He should get suspended, maybe at least 2-3 games, maybe.
Who, Torrey?
Bud Norris.
Bud Norris?
Bud Norris.
Mm-hmm.
I think Torrey's one of the most nicest guys, and he also smiles. He's got a great smile.
Pretty T.
He's one of the more nicest guys, and one of the true ambassadors of the game. And that what happened there, getting drilled and getting hit. I mean, that's unacceptable for an umpire to touch a player.
That too was a little strange.
Yes.
The face touch by the ump.
But also hitting him intentionally. Yeah, that's definitely a suspension, 2-3 game suspension.
Okay. We'll see what happens. They got another one in that bandbox known as Camden, small field. It's like the size of Friendship Park.
Then you got to play Boston.
Boston and Cleveland. So it's an interesting road trip. Good to get it started with a win. Boston, they're kind of milling around 500. Cleveland's under 500.
I'd love to see the Tigers just take care of business against Boston.
Boston,
Boston ruined the Tigers season last year. Also, I mean, there's
Their
no other
hockey
hated,
team
there's
is-
no hated sports town anymore than Boston except New York.
I think Verlander and Scherzer are going to be pitching that Boston series.
Oh, God, I can't wait.
Is that a 3-game series or 4-game series?
3. Who do you guys hate more, Boston or New York?
New York.
Both.
I think it's Boston for me. If I had to choose one, I think it's Boston.
I'm saying both because they're both just as evil. I'll even pick Chicago and Cleveland over Boston and New York.
I'm not going that far.
Ian loves Kansas City, but that's fine. But deep down, let's look at it here.
What are we looking at?
Deep down, Ian Weatherspoon really is a Kansas City Royal fan.
You really think Ian's a Kansas City Royal fan?
Yep.
Let's see. So you're saying his 3 favorite teams are Kansas City, Chicago, and Cleveland.
Yep.
Would a fan of the Royals, the White Sox, and the Indians wear a spandex catsuit around public?
You would embarrass yourself.
You embarrass yourself in public.
I rallied the team.
You embarrassed
You
yourself
rallied
in
the
public.
team and they lost the World Series.
You embarrassed the great Detroit Tigers in public by wearing that idiotic Catman suit.
And they lost, and they got something in the World
Yeah,
Series.
they got swept in the World Series.
But when I wore it to opening day of the following year, they won. All right? So let's all just be calm. They beat the Yankees.
I was so glad my kids called you Catman when they did.
I was ready to write them all up.
You were
Suspend
not
them.
going
Yep,
to.
suspend
No,
them from
you were
school.
not. You would never do that.
Kick them out of the Lake Orion School District.
Yeah, right. You would never do that.
Oh, I know people.
Oh,
We could do
Catman.
that.
Da 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 da. Catman. Da 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 da. Catman. Catman.
That is Catman, yes.
Yeah, it is Catman. See, we both agree on something.
I like that. And guess what I'll be doing this World Series?
Embarrassing yourself again on world
I'll be
television.
zipping up the Catman suit, waving that towel, watching Mr. I hold up the World Series trophy.
You would have a
You'll be embarrassing yourself on national television again.
All right. So, that's it. That's all I got. Is that all you got?
That's it.
Yes,
No
sir.
call-outs today.
No call-outs,
Everyone
no.
is sorely
They're safe
disappointed.
for 1 week.
No, they're disappointed. The audience is sad.
They're safe for 1 week.
All right, fine. Well, thank you for tuning in, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you enjoyed the show. We'll
Bye between Taorminas.
catch you next week.